kept growing and growing. You know, when you start making plays, you know, it helps. And you know, I feel like early in the year, you know, there's a lot of plays that I could have made, and I was just a step away, or you know what I mean. I'd leave games like, man, I was this close to having a couple sacks. You know what I'm saying? So it's just staying true and then going to work and not getting your head down or you know, getting frustrated and letting it affect the way you carry on for the next couple of weeks. And I think that speaks to kind of a lot of us in the program. You know, a lot of us, you know, have started playing our best football towards the end of last season, like Jordan Hancock, and you know, obviously Lathan Ransom got injured but was playing great football last year before he did. Denzel had another great year last year, bouncing back from his sophomore year. So, you know, when you look at our defense as a whole, we're all growing in the right direction, playing our best ball. And we were already one of the best defenses in the country last year, so I think that this year, you know, our motto and our standard of silver bullets is to be the best. So that's what, you know, we're going on and trying to put on the field.
On those plays where you were like a smidge, like almost would be sacks, like were you just, what happened? Were you just like almost there and like it took like just having more confidence to finish the play?
I think, you know, I think it kind of goes, sometimes the flow of the game, you know, doesn't really flow your way. You know what I mean? Sometimes there's not a lot of plays to be had, and you know, sometimes it is just making a play when, you know, it's there for the taking. So I think it's a little bit of both.
All you guys, especially the veterans, racing pressure. How different is it when you like go off the spot?
Yeah.
You can't escape. You can't go
Right, right. I mean, for me, you know, I love it. I love that the Columbus, you know, takes Ohio State football so seriously, you know, because it's what I grew up doing. You know, I grew up going to school 3rd and 4th grade, you know, and that's all we talked about was Ohio State football. What happened that the previous weekend, or we can't believe that this or this didn't happen, you know what I mean? So it's just kind of what I grew up doing. So to me, you know, I don't know anything else. I don't know anything different. You know, I know for a lot of these guys, I can't believe how serious it, you know, people, no matter where or what you do around Columbus, you know, people always want to come up and say something, but it just speaks on the position we're in, how blessed we are, and how cool is it, you know, would it be to tell your younger self, you know, especially for me when I was this big, that, you know, one day you're going to start for Ohio State at defensive end. You know, it would have been a dream come true.
You one of the guys, the guys, Denzel would come from people from all over the country and not be told what it's like, but not experience it. Say, hey, I'm from this is real.
Yeah, I mean, I try to tell these guys that, you know, that's the way it is, and they're like, yeah, you know, like, I'm used to it. Like being from back home, being a high-rated recruited guy, or you know, maybe when they go back home now, having, you know, being a starter in a college football program, but they didn't understand how it was being in Columbus and playing for the Buckeyes. I think a lot of them have caught them off guard, and so it's been fun. It's been funny to see their reactions to it.
Jack, you're obviously on.
Came in early, you did all this stuff you're supposed to do. You saw the runway it takes to get to this point now. As a defensive lineman, we haven't really heard your opinion on Jeremiah Smith. What is it about him that makes him maybe different than you were as a 5-star recruit coming in early? What have you seen that makes him special?
There's a lot of things I can list. That kid is just special. I mean, that's the only word I can use to describe him. Having been in his shoes, meaning being a 5-star recruit and having a lot of hype surrounding him coming in, you know, I was like, man, like, you know, I just want to see him, you know, practice a couple times. You know, I don't want him to feel like, you know, if he doesn't play this year, or if he doesn't live up to the hype his freshman year, then, you know. But then I saw him for the first time at the first practice. I was like, holy shit, this kid's good. So, you know, he's a great young player. He's got a great future ahead of him. He's got a great head on his shoulders. Very humble kid. So, whatever he gets, he's earned and he's worked for it. So I'm super excited for him.
Jack, you're obviously on the defensive side of the ball, but with Nick Ryan up there, said he trusts Chip with his life. You know, obviously.
Wait, he said what?
He said he trusts Chip with his life.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And just, you know, from what you've seen about him kind of coming in and play calling, how do you think he'll change things offensively for you guys? What have you seen from the defensive side of the ball? What's your impression of him so far?
Yeah, I think Chip Kelly brings a good little change up to what Coach Day's already doing. Being on the defense side of the ball, I can't really talk too much to how much he's going to change. You know, I haven't really seen too much, but I do know that, you know, he likes to run the football. You know, likes to play tough. He's got a bunch of different wrinkles and plays that he likes to run and install. So it's going to be fun to see how he elevates this offense, because, you know, we got the pieces, and you know, it's going to be really exciting to see what they do on that side of the ball this year.
Jack, is there a new quarterback in particular coming into the
Oh man, that's tough. I think since we play him, definitely Dylan Gabriel of Oregon. I think that's definitely got to be up there, just because we're playing Oregon and he's a great quarterback. He's had a good career, and they got a really great team. So if I had to pick one, it'd be him.
Jack, you've been doing a lot of credit for a lot of these veteran guys who come back this year. Coach Day mentioned it during his presser. Was there a specific approach or pitch that you had for some of the other guys who could have gone to the NFL for them to come back for 2024?
For me, I just told those guys, like, look, man, like when we came to Ohio State, we had all these goals and aspirations to achieve, and don't get me wrong, I want to go to the NFL and chase my dream of that more than the next guy. But before we can chase that, we had something bigger at stake. Something bigger than ourselves. Coach Day always talks about is leaving your legacy at the Ohio State. Becoming one of the best teams to ever come through here. And my conversations to them were, if we all decided to come back for our senior year, imagine the things that we could achieve. There's nothing we couldn't achieve. So I think that was my sales pitch, is that, look, if we all decide to come back together, that we're coming back to beat the team up north, win a national championship, win a Big Ten championship. So to me, that was the selling point to those guys.
Jack, what's it take for you to a guy along the defensive line, maybe all those things?
What is that again? Can you repeat that?
Yeah, what's it gonna take for you to feel good about the legacy you're gonna leave? Is it all those goals?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's all those goals. We came back for one last ride, and we got one last shot to do those things. Because we haven't done it. Unfortunately, we haven't done any of those things since I've been here. So I think that when we raise our heads after the season, if we completed all three of those things, it would have been a success.
Becca has said that you guys haven't really won anything yet as a
Right.
group. How much of that is fueling this offseason, this preseason you're going to go into, and then this season overall?
Yeah, I mean, it fuels us every day. I think, I wake up and thinking about it. I think about it every day. I haven't won a championship. I haven't beat the team up north, and you walk around the Woody and all you see is championships and championship posters and banners, and haven't been here for 3 years and not helped our team and this organization win any of those. It's something that wears on me, and it's something that motivates me every day.
Jack, who's the guy along that defensive line that maybe people aren't talking about now, but come the season they'll find out quickly about?
I think one of the most underrated players on our team is Ty Hamilton at nose guard. I think that if you go back and watch his tape, you won't see anybody play as physical, play as hard, and do the things that he does on a play-to-play basis, taking a double team, knocking the center back 3 yards, making them have to bounce, and then, easy cleanup for me, myself, JT, or a linebacker. So I think Ty Hamilton's due for a really big year, and I'm excited to see him get some of the props that he deserves.
What about a guy who's not
I didn't even do that on purpose. Maybe I did. No, but I think that we got we're so deep. We got such a great defensive line. We look at the guys that are behind us. Caden Curry, Kenyatta Jackson, Caden McDonald, Hero Canoe, Taiwan. I mean, everybody, on our defensive line, and those young guys are going to have great careers. Here at Ohio State, and a lot of those guys are going to be playing a lot of football in the NFL too.
Jack, the offensive line, I just feel like I'm seeing more and more buzz kind of about Josh Simmons and maybe the growth that he can make this year, like draft people. Someone who gets to go against him in practice. How have you seen him kind of make strides over the last year or so?
Yeah, I mean, he's an athletic freak. I mean, he's one of the most explosive guys that I've been around. I think he kind of realizes that too, and he's a guy who's got really good feet for being that size. I mean, I've only gone up against a handful of guys who have feet that good being that size. One of them is Paris Johnson. So I think he's finally realizing what he's capable of, and how important he is to our team's success. When you got a guy that's as big and strong as he is at tackle, that can open up run lanes and shut down guys on the blind side of our quarterback. So I think that he's one of the guys where, man, he's got a lot of potential that he's tapping into right now.
Jack, what tells you that the chemistry on this team that you guys are talking about is real? I mean, how does it show up every day, I guess? I mean,
yeah.
I guess common purpose. Well, how would you describe it?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the chemistry that we have with this team, it kind of speaks to how we all came back. I mean, I think if you look around programs across the country, you got 11 to 15 guys who could go pro and be drafted. A lot of those guys are gonna leave and go to the pros. And we all decided to come back and play another year here at Ohio State. So that in itself speaks to the brotherhood that we have with each other. But then again, just the camaraderie we have on a day-to-day basis in the weight room and outside of the Woody. And you know, I'm really excited for you guys to be able to see, you know, how far we've come this fall.
That's enough. Sorry, we gotta go.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.